we begin that Q&A, I want to make sure you know that my entire leadership team has joined me today. So whether it is a question about athletics, academics, student affairs, strategic enrollment, everybody who serves the university's interests at the highest level is on with us today. Sometimes we will have these Q&As, particularly when we have a particular issue we want to get after. But know that we are always open to your questions and opportunities for improvement. On that point, let me spend a brief moment with university families, particularly the families of those who entrusted us with their Delaware State University student. On the first day of classes, I typically send a note to the student body, encouraging their focus, their diligence, and perseverance as they begin the semester. This year was no different, but that note was much shorter than usual. It simply said, "Remember your ancestors are watching, make them proud." While writing those words, I did my own reflection. My bright hope for Delaware State University Standard is an unrelenting commitment to provide a level of care and service for our students and their families that consistently exceeds their expectations, imbues pride, and delivers our brand promise of an excellent education at the nation's most diverse, contemporary HBCU. In all candor, we missed that mark during move-in week. Many of you know we've struggled with opening in the past. Those challenges have involved residential readiness, bottlenecks in customer care, and integration across divisions. We had a few bottlenecks on day one, but on balance, I was pleased with how we bounced back and the level of integration that was present throughout. Unfortunately, as the week progressed, room readiness was uneven and not indicative of the standard we are trying to set at the university. The majority of our students had very positive experiences with their room, with COVID testing, traffic flow, the customer service teams at each residence hall, and the on-site complaint resolution. But too many others did not experience that same level of customer service. And in my view, one substandard experience is one too many. So today we're doing three things. First, to ensure that the living and learning environment meets our students' needs, we are deploying a rapid response team to visit all residence halls this week and next to verify that we have addressed any challenges existing on your arrival. Now, this will be separate and apart students from your normal work order process. The rapid response team will be empowered to cut red tape and prioritize results. Second, we are taking a major strategic step to address the overall housing capacity issue. This was to be announced after we finished our master capital plan, but I think it's important to announce now. As you all know, the majority of our housing stock is older and takes significant capital investment to maintain. In 2018, though, we demolished 2 small residence halls and opened a new state-of-the-art Tubman Laws facility where many of you students stay. This year, with the acquisition of Wesley College, we've added residence halls at our new downtown DSU location. Both of those activities have advanced our housing assets, but it's clearly not sufficient to meet our overall needs. Our planning process will begin immediately. We'll be engaging students, families, and the entire university community in that process, and you can expect to hear more about that this fall. Finally, because the move-in experience was frankly unacceptable for too many families, we will offer a housing credit to all residential students who were affected. Those affected students should expect to receive more communication about that credit after Labor Day. As president of this great institution, my charge is to move us to new heights. A part of that process is acknowledging our shortcomings without equivocation, empowering my team to develop plans to get better, and demanding that we execute those plans flawlessly. You should expect that much and more from all of us. So today, we too are remembering our ancestors. It's important for us to get it right as you come to this institution with expectations for yourselves, your families, and your communities. With that, I'd like to open it up for questions. Brother McMillan, I know many questions will come through the chat, but I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity here and recognize that if we don't get to all the questions here, please send those questions directly to my office. That's tallen, ALLEN, at desu.edu. Brother McMillan, any questions in the queue at the moment?
First question is, when will the American Rescue Plan funds be added?
Oh, I believe that is with respect to the student debt relief initiative we announced a couple of weeks ago. I'll turn that over to Mr. Tony Boyle, who's our strategic enrollment executive.
Thank you, President Allen. To all of our students, effective yesterday, August 30th, the first day of class, you are all now officially enrolled in the fall term, and you're processing for either $2,500 or $1,000 as now enrolled students for the term will be processed onto your accounts. That process started last night and will continue until every single student who completed that survey form we sent out to you. You had to be first students, which was as of yesterday for the fall term, and those were done. To many of you who have not completed the form went out to over 4,500 students. We got about 2,000 of those forms back. We will send a reminder out today for all of those who have not done it to say, be sure to go and click the link. When you get the link, if you click the link and it goes into a spin, copy the link and drop it into either your Chrome browser or your Firefox browser to get that done. Again, we have processed in all those who have done it yesterday and today. We will do those and get those done for you. For those that we're going to resend it out to you, be sure to complete the survey. When you click the link, if there's a challenge, copy the link and put it either in a Chrome browser or a Firefox browser and send that over to us. Once you respond, we will then process you rather quickly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How do we know if we will be given a housing credit?
That process will be detailed. We have actually counted all of the experiences that were unacceptable at the university during move-in week. We think that's netting about 200 students or so. If you do not receive a communication but thought your experience could have been better, please again send a note to me, tallen@desu.edu.
Is housing still available? And if so, who can I contact directly?
I'm going to turn that back over to Mr. Boyle. Tony?
Housing is ongoing. We encourage you, if you need housing, be sure that you reach out to us so we will know that you have a need or desire for housing. At the moment, we may say we are full, but it's about going through every person who has made application to ensure that they're taken care of. So if you've not applied for housing, that's the only way we know the demand is there. So we're not going to say that we're full. If you desire housing, be sure to apply. And we're literally going through the list to make sure we can accommodate all of our students as it stands now. So right this second, we ask you, if you've not applied for housing and you need housing, we need to know that so we can assist you where that's concerned.
And Tony, could you put your email and mine in the chat?
Yes, sir.
Many students have requested that additional gates be opened on the main campus to facilitate transportation between campuses. Will this be possible?
This morning, I was driving around campus and those additional gates were open, but I'm going to turn it over to our Chief Operating Officer, Cleon Cawley, to address it directly.
Good morning, all. Yes, that is the plan. We did see some of the bottlenecks yesterday. So as President Allen mentioned, there were additional gates open this morning, and we'll continue that as well.
Students who are relying on shuttles for transportation between campuses are finding the schedule to be very limited, leaving them with long waits and or no way to get to and from classes on time. Is there a way to make the shuttle more frequent?
I'm going to turn that over to Dr. Stacy Downing, who's our Chief Administrator of DSU Downtown. I think this is a DSU Downtown question.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So we did notice that yesterday as well. So we got a pretty good idea of what that adjustment needs to be. So we're working on that adjustment. So look for the updated shuttle schedule to come out this afternoon. Again, we'll be out around the parking lot A of DSU Downtown assisting students with that. But again, we are working to update that shuttle schedule to make sure we have more frequent stops and again, getting students to DSU Downtown and Johnston Hall. We noticed those were the two critical areas that students needed to get transportation and understanding of the schedule. So please be on the lookout for that updated schedule this afternoon.
Are you aware of any Are you aware of any additional scholarships or monies available for students?
Yes, I'm not sure that Dr. Pickram is on the call. Is that right, President Wall?
She is not on the call.
Okay, so two areas of consideration here. First, make sure that you have.
Good morning, Dr. Allen.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Good morning, Dr. Allen.
Okay.
This is Vita Pickram. I'm available to
Okay.
question.
Okay, Dr. Pickram, go ahead.
Yes, we work diligently to obtain scholarships for all of our students. We have some funds available on a case-by-case basis. We work very directly with financial aid to ensure that your package is appropriate. So please just give me a call or an email to the office. The telephone number is 302-857-6064. That's 302-857-6064. And my email address is V as in Victory, Pickram, PICKRUM @desu.edu. And we will work with you directly on your particular request.
Thank you, Dr. Pickram.
Are we coming back to the residence halls after Thanksgiving?
Mr. Boyle, I think they're talking about the schedule after Thanksgiving. Mr. Boyle, I don't think we can hear you.
Mr. Boyle, you have to take yourself off of mute.
1 second.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's be sure.
Went back on mute.
Hey, Daryl, let's come back to me in a second, if you don't mind, please, because I'm having bubbling chat on this side. If you guys can hear me, just give me a second.
All right, we can hear you though. Let's go to the next question, Darren. We'll come back to the timing.
One second. Currently, no other questions to state.
Okay. As Mr. Boyle gets his technology back up, Dr. Pickram, can you talk a little bit about the Thurgood Marshall College Fund as well, so that the students know that about that opportunity?
Yes, the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, we are a member school as a public institution. And some of you may be familiar with the United Negro College Fund, and that's primarily for the private HBCUs. So we're a member of Thurgood Marshall College Fund. There are numerous scholarships available to you by us being a member school. So I really advise you to go onto their website to find out about the additional scholarship opportunities. And oftentimes it's by your major. So you want to make sure that you visit it often, because as they establish partners with different corporations that may be in your field, scholarships are placed on their site on a regular basis. So if you have any questions or problems in accessing their site, please give me a call again or send me an email and I can assist you with all of the different programs that they have. We want Delaware State University students to be actively involved in Thurgood Marshall College Fund's programs. It's a lot of initiatives that will advance your career. So please take advantage of the opportunity, the fact that we are an active member with TMCF to assist you in your endeavors.
Thank you, Dr. Pickram. And before we go back to Tony Boyle, I do want to just make sure I give Ms. Lucretia Moultrie an opportunity to update us on anything related to our COVID protocols.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. I think this is a great time to just give everyone a reminder of what their requirements are. Between Campus Health Services and Enterprise Risk Management, we fielded a number of requests for either medical or religious exemptions related to the vaccine. Students have received responses to those requests. They were either granted or denied. Anyone who is denied, of course, is required to get your vaccine in order to be on campus and avoid violating our campus policy. Anyone who is approved, please keep in mind that you are required to test twice a week. We are running testing programs on both campuses. So on our main campus, testing is available on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday in the gym from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And on the Wesley campus, testing is available on Monday and Thursday between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. in the Carpenter building. The university continues to partner with Corrective so that we make vaccines readily available to anyone in our campus community, whether that is students, staff, or faculty. And actually, we extend that invitation to the broader community as well. So if anyone's interested in becoming vaccinated on Tuesdays and Fridays between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., vaccines and testing are available through Corrective in the Martin Luther King building.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Moultrie. I'm not sure Mr. Boyle's technology is working today. The short answer, I'm sorry, excuse me. The short answer, though, with respect to the return, unless there are changes in what we see with respect to COVID-19 through the fall semester, and I caution you all that there could be changes. Obviously, everybody is watching that very closely. My normal operation would be that you would return back to your residence hall after Thanksgiving to complete your final exams. So at present, that is how we will be operating. I just caution you all that things might change based on the COVID-19 variant. Okay.
If there is leftover money from the CARES Act fund after it is applied to our account, will we receive the money or will it be given to the state?
No, it's a great question. And I think it's all important for everybody to know that with respect to all of the CARES Act, American Rescue Plan, all of which is funding from the federal government with respect to emergency use in COVID-19. In each of those tranches of funding, there have been opportunities for direct student relief. And that direct student relief is for each university to give directly to students. So there will be no funds that we will return back to the federal government, but the portion that is owed to the students, which is one of which you saw a couple of weeks ago with our student debt relief initiative, will go directly to the students. There is another tranche that we believe will come, so there will be some more opportunities for direct student relief as well, but none of those funds will be returned to the federal government.
Can you repeat the times when we will be tested on campus?
Ms. Moultrie?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Allen. So testing on the main campus is on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the gym. Testing on the Wesley campus is available Mondays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Carpenter building. With regard to vaccines, I think it's worth mentioning again, because of course we want to do our part to make sure that those who are interested have an opportunity to get vaccinated. You'll visit the MLK building on Tuesdays and Fridays between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Just want to reiterate, anyone who is unvaccinated needs to be tested twice a week. Anyone who is vaccinated tests once a week, and compliance is monitored.
Thank you, Ms. Moultrie. I just want to also remind everybody that the vaccination clinic is really open to obviously our entire university community, but also the surrounding community as well. So if you know others who haven't gotten vaccinated that are not a part of the university community, they can get vaccinations at Delaware State as well. President McMillan, next question.
When will all classrooms be retrofitted with air purifiers?
I'm going to turn that over to Mr. Cawley.
Daryl, can you repeat that question?
When will all classrooms be retrofitted with air purifiers?
Looks like we're having some significant technical difficulty
Is that
with the
question
chief.
for me, or was it for Mr. Colley?
Mr. Cawley.
Okay, thank you.
Can you not hear me?
Had some,
Now we can.
We can hear you
now.
now.
We can hear you.
Okay, I couldn't hear you at first as well. All right, I said we were about 85% through at the first day of class. We got a list of which classes do not have the purifiers. As of this morning, those purifiers were being dropped off. So between today and tomorrow, air purifiers should be in all classrooms.
thank you.
If all campus gates are open, do we still need to complete a campus shield COVID assessment? How are we monitoring for outside persons who are unvaccinated on campus?
Mr. Cawley?
With all gates open, as of this morning, we were not requesting the campus shield because of the vaccination, because of the vaccination protocols. We will evaluate that as time goes on, but right now, for safety reasons, we want to make sure that there's a proper flow of traffic. So we're not stopping traffic to look at the shield application at this time.
And Mr. President, may I add to that?
Sure can.
Per our COVID operations policy, everyone on our campus is still required to complete their daily screening. We have encouraged our faculty to require that students actually show their completed campus shield form upon entering their classrooms. And we will be looking for other opportunities on campus to control who is coming in and out of our buildings and making sure that they're actually completing their campus shield questionnaire on a daily basis.
Thank you.
What are the dining options for DSU downtown?
Dr. Downing.
Yes, good morning again. So right now we are working on what those options look like. You could come to the market where we have a grab and go from 12 to 5. Yesterday, we were able to secure a food truck that will be managed from 4 to 6:30, Sunday to Monday for the whole week. And as more food options become available, we will definitely communicate that. But again, be mindful that if you are residing on the DSU downtown campus, that you can also take the shuttle and have access to all the dining options on main campus. But again, if you need something as a grab and go, come to the market from 12 to 5. And then again, in the evenings, we are providing a food truck.
And the only thing I'd like to add to that, Dr. Downing, is the retrofitting of the DSU downtown cafeteria spaces. So we are in the process of completing that retrofitting, so you would have normal options. We expect that will be completed sometime over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then we will have full cafeteria options at that time.
If an air purifier isn't working in a classroom, whom should we contact about it?
you should contact Mr. Cleon Cawley. Mr. Cawley, could you give out your email address?
Absolutely. It's C Cawley, so that's CCAULEY at desu.edu. I'll also put it in the question and answer section as well.
Thank you.
Is there a concise statement regarding safety protocols for events happening on campus, especially homecoming related events?
Sure. Ms. Monk, you want to talk about our normal protocols relative to events?
Absolutely. So generally speaking, our campus is closed to the public. We are permitting university-sponsored events on our campus. If you visit the COVID-19 operations policy, there is a section dedicated to campus events, and it lays out the process for approval to conduct any event activities on our campus. Specifically, any event that will be hosted on our campus must be approved by campus events and enterprise risk management. I believe the question was really primarily focused on whether or not there's a concise statement about protocols, safety protocols related to campus events. There isn't, because based on the specifics, the particulars of any event that will be hosted on campus, enterprise risk management will be reviewing a proposed safety plan, make any necessary edits, which will then result in the safety protocols that attach. So for anyone that's going to attend approved events on our campus, I encourage you to actually read the communications related to each event so that you're clear on what the safety protocols are.
And let me just add, because I think it also was specific to, the question was specific to homecoming. As Ms. Moultrie says, there are university-sponsored events planned throughout the semester. Homecoming is one such event. But as you might imagine, based on the numbers and volumes, both inside and outside, the protocols will vary. So we'll be specific with respect to those events, so you have a good sense of what is expected. Overall, I'll just remind everybody that inside at Delaware State University, you must wear a mask if you're with one or more people. Outside, you do not have to wear a mask unless you are unvaccinated, and then you will have to wear a mask. That has been our policy since the beginning of the semester. That will be the same policy as it relates to any university-sponsored events, but obviously there will be additional protocols based on size and volume of each event. Any additional questions?
When will Tubman Law's dining hall be 100% open?
Turn it over to Mr. Cawley.
Actually, Mr. Pratt is on the line as well. He might have a little bit more insight.
Good afternoon. There's a meeting today with full details on that today at 4:30. So we have to come back to do a final reports.
What we'll do is, while we're still having these questions and answers, I'll also do a double check and see if we can get an answer before the close of this meeting, the close of the question and answer session.
Okay.
Will there be a December commencement?
We are not planning a December commencement at this time. We did not have one last year as well. A lot of it has to do with the unknowns relative to the Delta variant and where we'll be in the December timeframe. As I said last year, that does not mean that all those graduating won't get all their credentials at that time. What it means is the commencement exercises for those graduating in December months will actually be in the springtime, much like we did last year.
What is the policy for attendance at the football game on Saturday?
I think Ms. Gatson is on the line, our athletic director.
I am. Good morning. The policy will be in line with the university's policy, in which masks will be encouraged, and for the unvaccinated, we hope that masks will be worn. Outside of that, we will follow all other university protocols.
How long will it take for our IDs to work at Conrad for dining?
I actually don't know the answer to that question. I'm not sure we have the right people on to answer that. Is anybody aware of student IDs functioning at Conrad Hall?
I don't have that answer, but I'm asking about the Tubman as well. So I'll ask about that and see if we can get it before the question and answer session ends. If not, we'll
if you
respond
have-
accordingly.
And if you're having a specific concern, that's another opportunity for you to just send that specific concern to Mr. Cawley and have him address it directly.
Is there a way to contact financial aid without actually going to the main campus? Haven't been able to contact someone.
There is, I'm not sure Mr. Boyle is back up and running from a technology standpoint, but we'll put that number and a contact email in the chat. I think you all know that your financial aid director is Mr. Al Dorsett. If you would be so kind, Cleon, please put Al Dorsett's email in the chat along with the requisite phone number.
No additional questions at this time, Dr. Allen.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that robust Q&A for new students or folks new to the university community. Know that we have a university forum of this type every Tuesday at 11 for the foreseeable future. One of the reasons we are doing this is because we are still in the pandemic itself, and we know that questions will arise that you will need prompt answers to. The other one is that we are figuring much of this out as we move forward to make sure that we're getting your needs met across the university. I remind everybody that we are a bigger, better university as a result of lots of activity that is going on over the last 18 months. But it is a transition time for all of us, and we need to know your concerns, what you see as our opportunities for improvement, and any successes that you note that you want to make sure continue throughout this process. As I said, it really is about making sure that we get it right, and when we don't get it right, acknowledging that up front and making sure that we can correct it straight away. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, students and families, for choosing Delaware State University, and continue to engage us with your questions so we can be better together. I'll see you next week.